I'm here to play piano. It's the salt and pepper.
Very nice.
Yeah, we all got a little witching up going on.
Like it's sun-kissed.
I did this for my mother. My mother was this pianist color. So, I'll do it. It's running. It's running? Okay. So welcome everybody. I'm here, Chris Owen, I'm village president. So I'm here to answer any of your questions. And anything you guys want to know about this that I have an answer for, I'd be happy to share with you. Otherwise, Todd may have some answers as well if I'm not. If it's a significant or small detail that I don't know, he may know that answer.
And if neither of us know, make sure you've got your email on here and your name, and I'll get you the answer. Find out somebody who can.
This goes with
I'll just open it up for any questions.
Nyla Fry for East Sterling Avenue. This isn't a question. I would just like to thank you for the beautiful library that is coming together out of a really nasty site. I'm from that neighborhood, and I thank you very much for that, and the entire staff.
Well, thank you. It's just a small part. But yes, there's many people that look at all that. That's a lot of years, and I'm excited for the opening coming up here in about 2 weeks.
August 1st is the grand opening ceremony, and then technically we'll be open for business on the 2nd.
even that bridge.
I know they're working very hard to get everything done and ready for the opening.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Richard Brumman, my wife Pam, we're somewhat new to Waunakee, but we're interested in the grocery stores that are scheduled to come in. Where's that headed, or is it actually happening?
My answer is yes. Right now, I know the festival has given a commitment that they want to be open in 2020. Forward development, I think, is closing on the property.
Last I heard was this week.
Yeah, right, it's coming this week, so that's he is on that site, but he hasn't committed to any specific time frame when he's at this point. Is that it?
Except to say they've already asked us if they could stage equipment prior to permit.
They just haven't made verbal commitments as to when.
Are they close together, or where are they positioned? One's like a woodland somewhere, right? But
So if you vision going out of Waunakee, you're coming up the hill, you've got Woodland Drive right. Festival will be on this side, IB will be on this side.
okay.
I'm happy to send out the site plan maps for each.
So that's all been approved, the site plan maps with the number of parking and all that kind of thing has all been approved through the...
There's no other step in the village,
Okay.
except issuance of the permits and state.
So wasn't there a concern at some point, and I'm guessing this has been resolved because you've approved everything, about if they go out of business, the empty building, and that all got resolved with both places? Because I thought IB was kind of pushing back a bit.
Yeah, there was no
Okay.
And is that, Chris, mainly because all of the businesses in town aren't required or
Yes.
don't have to play that game?
Yes.
So it'd be similar to these two.
Really? Yeah, it was actually something that the attorneys discussed and talked about and brought to the board, and I was informed just because of how you force that from one specific business and not all the others that are in there.
Right.
Same thing as a gas station or another bank or whatever, we put that restriction on them if they're putting the building up saying, if you don't make it, you gotta take it back. How do you think that's fair?
The village board also looked at kind of the design, the nature of the buildings themselves, and a grocery as opposed to a grain elevator is certainly more usable for other purposes than just a grocery store. It's not a dramatically customized structure in terms of shape and form. So if it was another unusual, who knows what, maybe we looked at it differently, but there's potential there for reuse if for whatever reason.
Right.
grocery store.
Yeah, two of them on Main Street too.
Yeah, Main Street, both where Waunakee Furniture is was a grocery store, and across the way where there was actually a grocery store right across the street on Main Street as well. There's many businesses that are now in one.
With all developments, many have heard me say that I'll believe it when we cut the ribbon. That we've seen historically things change midway through or seconds before they start. So believing it when I see it is usually the safest answer for offering folks.
Yes, the library discussion started 15 plus years ago. So we're there right now. The grocery store discussion just started like a year and a half ago. So, but yes, you're absolutely right. The economy could change and there's all different things.
When we moved to Waunakee, we remarked there's only one grocery store, the Piggly Wiggly. And so my wife wrote a letter to Festival, and next thing you know, they showed interest. So
They included all the demographics.
There's been interest in the community for some time for another grocery, that's for sure. Yes, sir.
Scott Mobley, I live right here in Kilkenny. So following up on the grocery store discussion, did either of the companies did any kind of market studies? Assuming that they think they can make this work, even with the other one there. But I'm just curious, with the expected population, is there a market for 3 supermarkets? Do they know? Or they said?
So I'm not a grocer by any stretch. Is anybody here a grocer? Okay, so that makes zero expertise in the room. Whether they can make it or not. Spend $12-15 million that they're going to do a lot of due diligence, especially putting it up right next to one another. That would be on them. I don't think anybody just going to throw their money around in that process. So I do believe that they've done all the research. I think they don't necessarily just look at one particular thing. Like most your targets are those like a 5-mile radius of what's going to happen in that 5-mile radius, and see what the population base looks like. So, unfortunately, Lake Mendota sits within the 5-mile radius, so we don't ever get any population inside the lake. It doesn't happen.
Todd, when you said they asked about staging equipment, you're talking about the construction dirt moving?
Yeah, so the excavation equipment. Yeah, excavators.
That would be in the field that's shoulder high beach right now?
Yeah. They planted crops in it until this year.
has there ever been discussion of Metro Plus the Waunakee? Because part of the letter that I read, people were concerned about where are the employees going to come from? You know, for
They also do. I don't know that that's our role and responsibility for them, that the government to do that. We have a Uber program that they developed that part of their employee compensation package. They have an Uber situation that they get their employees to come elsewhere, or they can have a bus. I know we did have a bus that came from years ago. And I don't remember that.
Madison?
I don't remember it.
So where the current village center is, was the Waunakee Canning Factory, and the canning factory had their bus that they brought people in.
But that wasn't probably a bus.
It
was for workers. Yes.
Which was what your question.
That's one of them.
Right. Like so that employees could get to a location somewhere and then they would bus them.
Right.
So they as a company brought a bus service that brought their employees here. So it has happened in Waunakee before, it just hasn't used it.
Bus service is a function, planning function of the MPO, Metropolitan Planning Organization, which works through the city of Madison. So what I'm willing to send out to everybody is the links and information to get to their site. And if you were to look at their studies, actually most recent to 10 years ago, you'll see discussion and references about commuter lines and other service options which have been studied, but to this point haven't passed the planning process. Suntory, I think that's a what is that called? An express service. would be there's certainly a lot more to it.
I mean, it's why Verona got it because of Epic.
Epic pays for it.
That density of employment in one location is why they were able to get it.
Yes.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Gene.
Did I catch up?
What's the status of the bike trail up north from 6 Mile from Madison west to the bridge?
The next trail, going through the woods and stuff. My understanding is they were starting clearing.
Yeah, they were going to start the week of July 8th, and it still hasn't.
I don't have an update on that. I know they were going to start there. It's in our budget to be done this summer. So. Do you have any updates on that? It could have been conditions.
Rainy weather.
Whatever. I'm not sure what it is, but we'll find out.
This is, go ahead, sir, I'm sorry.
I want to change the subject completely, like I always do,
Feel free.
because I want to talk about pickleball courts right across the way.
Okay.
I've been involved in pickleball around the Madison area for a bunch of years. I play down in Arizona 3 months out of the year. I, along with 4 or 5 other people, went with Don Tierney several years ago to Sun Prairie to look at the Sun Prairie courts and to talk about how these courts could be set up. And basically, Don listened, and they were set up quite well. However, there are a few things I think that need to be looked at and maybe changed and thought about. First of all, on the east side of the courts, the water from the hills runs down and runs over the courts and brings in some mud. And you can go up there right now and look at the courts on this side and see where it's washed over. Some people say, well, the grass needs to grow and that kind of thing, but if you look at the terrain up there, it comes straight down on this end. And over here to the other side, it actually dips down. There is a drain at this end which goes into the whole drainage system out here, but it really needs to have a cut over on that side.
So the sand is going on there to make it slip.
It's dirty and it's trash wash. And you know, it's a simple thing. It would take some guy with a backhoe maybe 30 minutes to fix it, but it needs to be done. I actually emailed Bill Frederick about it several weeks ago, and he never got back to me. So I'm not sure what the status of who owns this course is right at the moment. Anyway, I'll get to that in a second. The pickleball, the ball for pickleball is very lightweight, and wind is really a big, huge effect. It would be very nice if the courts could have wind screens on. It is an expense to get them, but a number of the other new facilities like Middleton and Sun Prairie, which has a brand new 6-court complex over there, which is really excellent, have wind screens. And it would be nice to think about that. The other thing is that I'm sure there's going to be some more landscaping going in over here. And I also talked to Bill about this before those pine trees were put in. Don's going to pay for the landscaping. It would be nice to get some sort of bushes that were close to the fence to block the wind. Now those trees, you know, they're out here on the west side. They're really not going to be very effective at all. They might look nice, but it's kind of a waste of money. The other thing is, I was out here about a month and a half ago, and there were 34 people playing on the courts on a Monday morning, which was really great to see. but there's a problem because there's no space around the outside for the people that aren't playing to put their bags and to sit. And I'm not sure what the idea is going to be, to actually make some kind of seating on the outside, or to maybe extend some of the asphalt around the edge so there's more room and tables could be, like these things could be set up there. But several of us who have been involved with this have some ideas about what could get done, and I'm not sure. I knocked my head against the wall on a number of things, so I'm not sure where that might go.
So have you had a conversation with Sue?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we had.
Bringing up our park we had, and we had a community learning day that was taking place, so the courts were jam-packed full. It was the same thing we were having for people that were coming over. There's nowhere else really to sit down and watch.
Right.
Over there. So
right. Well, it's not just watching.
Right. For bags.
Like today I came out here this morning and there were 6 courts, 4 of them were full, and there were people waiting, but they had their bags and everything right inside the fence, and it's no good. It doesn't work because it jams everything up. Okay, but the biggest issue with these courts is that the kitchen line was not straight correctly. And my opinion, and the opinion of a number of people around the Madison area who know about it, is that that's a breach of contract. And the contractor should be required to repaint the courts. What the problem is that we call it the kitchen. It's a non-volley zone. It goes from the net 7 feet on either side. The distance is supposed to be 14 feet from the outside of each line. The distance is actually 14 feet 2 inches. Now 2 inches doesn't sound like much, but it's a big deal when you play pickleball. And if you ever wanted to have a sanctioned tournament here, you couldn't, because the courts aren't. So I really do think that somebody should look into that and get a hold of a contractor and have that fixed, because it's not right. Once again, I talked to Bill Fredericks about it, and he said, you've got what you've got, which I don't think is correct. And I know that a lot of other people that play pickleball around the Madison area know about that situation. These courts are really great. The best facilities at Sun Prairie. This could be an equal facility if the things that I'm talking about here could be fixed. And the worst thing is really the stripes. So,
okay, thank you. I'm not a pickleball person. You said kitchen? I thought you were.
yeah, there we go.
For right here, but I get it.
I live over
it's
here,
like the
by
service
the way.
line in tennis.
What's that?
The service box for tennis.
That's
No,
exactly.
it's a bit different.
Same.
Well, it's the
that's
same.
Same concept.
It's the same idea. Yeah.
Same idea, but it serves more of a purpose other than that when the game gets going. You can't get into it for the ball.
2 inches in pickleball would be like moving the service line in tennis a foot, and the tennis player would go crazy if you did that.
Some might like it.
Depends on which way you move it.
We have a little backing here because Dick also plays. I know him well, and so.
Yeah, with those changes that Bob's talking about, this facility would beat Middleton hands down, because Middleton is pitched wrong.
Yeah. Some of these, nobody knows anything about playing pickleball. It's crazy. You know, they think it's a tennis facility and they just come in and do it.
Are you retired? I was going to say, this could be a calling for you. Nope. If nobody knows anything, then it'll be a great.
I've been through a couple different callings since I retired.
We live on North Drive and right across the street from the porta potty there. And at least twice this year it's blown over with the winds. And I've always just called the non-emergency police number, and then they send people over to pick it back up. And, you know, when a porta potty tips over, it's kind of a mess. What we can't understand is, and I only know this because I used to work for a landscape company that we would hire the country plumber, and I think that's who does your porta potties here. They used to have a way to, you know, button them down to the ground so they wouldn't get tipped over. And so I'm wondering why or if that could happen at the park, because I always feel like, oh my God, kids are going over there and this porta potty's tipped over, and it's just not a healthy situation for kids to be over there. So just, I don't know if there's something that can be done, but 2 times already this year that I've seen it, you know, we've been gone quite a bit, but 2 times it's been knocked over. And I will say the police really respond quickly, so I appreciate that.
Cop lives across the street.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, so that's just something I'd like to bring to your attention and chat about.
I was pretty surprised that one time when I was in there going. So I'm with you.
They do have ways to, you know, even if you still want to keep it on the grass versus.
Residents are waiting to push it over. I feel love.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's a great. I can tell you that I had a steel flight pole that snapped from the wind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it sheared metal off. So we've had some pretty significant ice storms.
Yeah.
That have been abnormal.
Yeah.
Which I think what they're saying could continue. So
right. So just a heads up that maybe something could be chatted with them about it to somehow tether it. Yeah.
Just while it's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good suggestion. Others? Hi, Mary.
Hey.
You must have snuck in. I didn't see you come in.
From the back way.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
What's going on with your library?
What is going on with it?
Well, do we know what it's going to be?
It's being empty, I think.
The current library?
Yeah,
it's,
everything.
I know it's being
all been
empty, but
empty.
do
Oh,
we know
I
what's
see
going to
what you
happen to the site afterwards?
Do you want to take this one or should I take it?
To the extent that we have information about that.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of information on that right now. The school's kind of been a little wishy-washy on whether they want it or not. There's other people interested in purchasing it. We've had discussions with Millhouse Quilts in regards to it. And I know that we're going through a process that we're talking to the neighbors to see what they would be okay with, as well as all the way downtown, because if we put something commercial there, obviously that's going to bring more traffic down certain roads, in addition to just more traffic in general there at the school, congestion of it. So that would be a concern we have depending on what type of commercial we go there and whether we want commercial to be in there. So we want to talk to the residents and get a feel for that. But we also want to sell it at some point.
I've been doing research for the board. I would think within.
So you work with the bar?
No, I would just say that within a month and a half or so, within the next 3 meetings, I think we'll have an update for the board on what we've discovered, or learning, or exploring.
Which 3 meetings? Board meetings? Or?
The village board.
Okay.
Board meeting will update them on our research.
So would the zoning have to change if you allowed commercial in there?
Yeah, it's institutional. It's institutional.
Right.
So a question pertaining to that, if you change the zoning then, does that affect the whole neighborhood or just that building?
Well, you can zone a single property differently in certain circumstances, but the effect doesn't necessarily care about. You mean?
I'm asking if one place gets their zoning changed, is it basically easier for other places to change their zoning?
I mean, sometimes compatibility with neighboring properties is a discussion point when the Plan Commission considers rezonings. So they'll generally work carefully at interaction between properties. So I see your point, which I think is that if that's just commercial, what would prevent another property from becoming commercial, and then that impacting the neighbors? I mean, I guess I would say there's already one commercial property there with the daycare, but I consider it unlikely to see proliferation of commercial. But I think that's part of the discussion process. We do know that the deed, and we inform the school district of this, there's like a paragraph that says that if it does go to anything other than municipal use, the school has the right to regain use of the upper parking lot. And I don't know if I'm the school board and look at parking challenges for students or staff, I think that's a pretty good opportunity.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't really necessarily blame them. So that's a factor in looking at commercial uses too. That's all the weighing that staff is doing for the board right now to then come back and say, here's the litany of choices. Village board, do you want to send us directly down one path now? So that'll be the discussion in a couple of board meetings.
Thank you.
I have a concern about the survey.
One other question, probably one other comment. And if I shouldn't be saying this, slap me or stop me.
Well, it sounds like you're going to say it, so just go ahead.
But one of the things that we could contemplate or look at is moving our village hall into the library and selling village hall as a commercial use. Since that seems to be in the commercial district, and that's something we could consider. That's something we could consider as well.
What's the approximate square footage?
Village hall is 8,000, the library is 12.
So you have 25-30% more.
You'd probably get more money downtown. So the existing property thing.
Yeah, those are parts of, that's part of the puzzle that we're going to be coming back to the board.
Right. So that's the discussion that we're going to. We want to find the best uses for that library, and if we don't keep it as an institution, that we lose the parking. So
Right. And then any other commercial will be like, where's my parking?
So that's why we're considering that move.
I filled out the survey before I knew about the parking issue, and so it made it change my answer some.
Okay.
So just a heads up when the survey comes in, if people filled it out before that.
The funny thing is, we also discussed the parking issue after the survey.
Yes,
So we realize what's going to make a difference.
We were doing our, we do. We were doing our diligence, and our attorney was going through all the, the whole discovery process on documentation. So, good thing did.
Yeah.
But you're right. The survey is kind of a funny situation.
So I stopped you. Did you have another question?
No, that was just, the survey was kind of like, okay, I did it, but now I have new information, so.
Yep. Okay.
And how many times does that happen with a survey? You fill it out, and then you come up with additional information. You think, I filled it out too soon.
Yep.
Just a general, specific question, I guess. If you couldn't have parking up above and you park down below, could you still go around the building the way you do now when you park below? You kind of go by the administration, school administration, the old school administration building, and back through? Or would they have to close that hill then and have to go make it a two-way?
I can't say the answer is absolutely no. And I don't think the deed necessarily took back that segment of access. It was purely that parking piece. Whoever goes in there, I would say, is going to have good, complete discussion with the school to make sure everything is in order and works well with the traffic patterns. So I think the answer, Jim, is going to be it depends on the proposed user.
Other questions? Comments?
The pool, is the listening session or whatever it is next month. Is that correct?
August
26th, is it?
It's earlier. It's at the new library, I know that.
It should be well attended.
I think I asked for it.
Where is the pool?
Right now, there's not one.
Having a listening session to discuss the pros and cons of it.
August 20th at 7 o'clock.
And
Maybe, where would it be located?
We don't know.
To be.
Yeah.
August 20th at 7 o'clock.
just a kind of a pitch for thinking about the pool, like coming up, the pool's going to be on the street. And you really don't have any other options. And like,
I was in Denver, and they have little spray things all over the place on their roads. Or they have like a State Street area, and then they have another area, and it's all out of the concrete. That they have all these little water things shooting out everywhere for the kids to go into. I think that survey out about do you want a pool or how do you feel about a new water complex, it's like they don't have any idea what it even means. It could be as small as a spray park, it could be a little pool, it could be a lap pool, it could be a lap pool and a pool with water slides and all different. So there's all these different potentials, and it's so interesting to see that the survey area is yes, no. It's like you don't even know what we proposed. The village, the community hasn't even said anything yet. So no offense to that survey, but it's just like that doesn't really give us any great information at this point. But yeah, I think the community is going to give their input. We're going to have a expert in pools and aquatic centers that's going to come in and talk about here's your different options or what you could put in. Here's what your costs are going to be.
How much
we're going to
land?
have, if you were at the different things where they put sticky tags on different things that people are interested in, so everybody can put sticky tags on what they think would be best. They're not going to have a lot of information on like operations and all that. It's more what we think we might want as a community, and then we'll go down that road and look at it.
I don't think there's intention to get into where are we going to put it. I don't think that's part of it.
But the amount of land is a big consideration because that's cost.
So when we figure out what people want, that's when we have to figure out where can we put it, what land is available to us. So that's why it's such an early stage thing that it's hard to really talk about that. And then are people going to support that? I personally think that's a referendum item because it's something that's new. We've not had that before. So I know what I would like, but I'm not going to share because I don't want anything to be skewed with anything. Some people like me, some people don't. I don't want those that don't go against it just because. I think whatever it is that it should fit our community and that people should support it. I think that's just another amenity in the community that we're a victim of. Actually, that we are as good a community as we are. Sometimes we're victims.
Will that session be recorded so if people can't make it, they can?
We could. We haven't talked about those things yet.
It'll be something like this. He's going to do a presentation. I don't see why we couldn't. The new library should have the capabilities. I'm video something. So, yes, Mary, I'm going to try to do that. Other questions? Can I just ask them a show of hands? Is there anybody that's just totally anti-pool in the room? All right, we're at a good starting point.
I do think you have a bit of an issue with all of these individual pools around here.
That's my concern.
I mean, as far as whether you're going to get support?
Well, that, yes, and the fact that they have been allowed to the detriment of a community pool, in my opinion.
So, in my opinion, I agree 100%. I was never for any of their community pools. I think they create haves and have-nots and everything like that. The neighborhood pools we're talking about. I don't think they're all that useful since they're not lap pools. They're just, kind of go get wet pools, and they're not really. I think we could have done something better. And I think Mr. Tierney, who's put in most of those, would agree. That would have been better to have. So we'll see how that all plays out. That I think will be what's proposed, whether people will support it or not if they have their pools. But I will say that maybe it's a year-round pool that we come up with, and these are only open 4 months.
Yeah, that would be really nice. It's very so it makes it tough to get in there unless you want to go private.
This isn't a secret thing. I can say this. So I've been doing a lot of research on this, and one of the things that could be part of the option is having a year-round pool that's open air in the summer, and then going in the winter. I got a whole presentation on domes, and how they work, and how it actually could bring tourism as part of having our pool, and how it can help us to fund it. So there's all different things that are going to get thrown out. That's just one of the options.
Well, and you can see how long ago this is, but I grew up in Kohler, and Kohler had an indoor pool that was attached to the school, and at the time, it was just like K through 12 because it was a small school. But because of Kohler, they had a big, beautiful pool And they had walls that just moved in the summer on 3 sides for the big pool. And then they had what they called an intermediate pool, which was like, I think, 4 feet deep. It wasn't very big. It was just kind of square. And then they had a kiddie pool. And, you know, the kids, you were able to get the idea of being out with the big movable walls in the big pool, but then they would close it up in the wintertime for adults to do lap swimmer, for kids to take swimming lessons through school. And so, you know, that's out there and been there. So that's another option rather, I mean, maybe the dome's the new technology, but this one had walls that moved on 3 sides, you know. Like
it was interesting.
50 years ago.
The Rotary had a lunch for the seniors, and up at Centennial Park, and I went and was sitting and quite a few of the seniors. This was a hot topic among seniors, was the pool. Now, do you think there were 4 or 8?
4. I'm thinking 4.
Very much 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a place to have exercise classes.
Exercise.
And they want warmer pool water than the high school has. And they want to have hours that are convenient as opposed to very limited. So that was
Yeah, I
was shocked.
one of the things I'd like to see
I saw you there. No, we were at different tables at that point.
if we ever, you know, if I hope we get a pool, but one thing that I would honestly like to see through a pool program would be one night during a summer or whatever, where you have a senior night, high school night, single night, you know, toddler night, so young couples can have fun with their toddlers, and just make it so everyone comes who are in an age group, only do it like once a summer, but then they have their special time to come and get access to the pool. And I think that could be a big possibility. When they just get and a lot of it might be socialization, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's the community. I can bring up amenities, and what Waunakee has is some very nice amenities. The pickleball court could be the best in the area. We do a couple of modifications, right?
They fix those lines.
Our tennis courts will be some of the best in the area as soon as they're finished right now. They weren't very good. They had some problems, but they're going to be just tremendous tennis courts that the school will be using for their teams. And they're yes. We're sitting in a park right now that has, look at the different amenities that are going on right now. And this is just one of the parks. We have many parks that have great amenities in them all across the village. So that's, the pool is one of those amenities. The new library is one of those amenities where people, everybody can use them. I think the biggest social program we have is where that car is right now. All the roads, we all pay for roads. Some people don't drive, but they still pay for them. You get around.
You don't drive, you may walk.
Even if you walk, I mean, it's a sidewalk. You need those. So they're great. Other things people like to see or questions? Yes, sir.
Again, thank you both for being here and for holding these listening sessions. It's very much appreciated. I live on East Verleen. If you take East Verleen all the way out and you turn right to go north on 113, we have wonderful trails and paved paths and bridges and etc. That path right there across from the golf, on the opposite side of the golf course, there's
Is that 113 we're talking about?
Yes. Okay. Yes, so we're going north out of town.
Okay.
There will be trees and bushes that continuously grow, and they lean and hang over, and it takes up about half of the path. We do such a wonderful job of building them and cleaning snow off of them. We mow the grass underneath a wind mower or something that goes way underneath these things that hang out about 10 feet. And we're mowing the grass underneath, and then these things hang down. It's all the time. And then when you follow that, you go north a little further, and then you go into the little cul-de-sac area, and there's one that goes across the swamp. That one's decent right now, but historically that's horrible back in there too.
I actually had a conversation with Gary Hertzberg about that, and Bill Fredericks. That area there where the creek is, you don't even know the creek is there because it's overgrown. And I think the creek is one of our most beautiful things if it's opened up. You see that with the library. Where we cleared that up, so it's much more visual. Same thing with the Village Park as the creek goes through there. That area is super overgrown, and we just have to convince certain people that would absolutely do this as volunteers to deal with the snakes. They're afraid of snakes. And that's like the land of 1,000 snakes right there in that corridor. It's not any bad snakes, but they're, if you have a fear of snakes, you're going to have a hard time going in there. But yeah, and Bill knows about it, so we kind of opened up a little bit where the creek is. If you notice, some of the guys there actually couldn't see the creek, but we did all the way down, all the way through. And it just happened right now by the library on the east side. Some of the west side actually was cleared up too and opened up. It's one of our gems that's hidden right now.
Is there going to be a path along the creek there on the west side?
Not right next to the path, but close to it. Yes.
That's part of why that was all cleaned up. Okay.
So that'll go all the way.
Does that just go to the next?
So there's a bridge down there currently. Just go there and then decide if they're putting the bridge or if they're putting in. I fix it. There are going to be some. So the bridge is going to. The bridge is kind of like a little bit like this. They're going to straighten that and take care of it and clean it up. We talked about maybe going all the way out to 113 with that. It's a maybe right now. There's some engineering challenges with the railroad to try to get the path through there. So we just have to figure out if we can get that done.
I will talk to staff about that spot on 113. I know what you're talking about, so we'll take a look. But our the summer engineering students that are interning for us, I think just this week, if not next, they're going out inspecting some areas for overgrowth. So we'll add that on the list. A lot of our trimming does happen actually in the winter. The crews are able to actually have better access. But we'll take it.
Thank you.
For trimming, if someone's interested in helping with the trimming project, who should they call?
Bill. It would be Bill.
Would it be Bill or would it be Gary or?
Not Gary, it would be Bill.
Bill? Call it Public Works if there's...
Is there a group that's working on those projects right now, or what's going on with that?
I've not heard. You mean like a friends group of
right.
some sort, like a friends of trails, or?
Because I know somebody who might be interested in helping trim.
Yeah, some of it we just have to make sure from a liability standpoint.
Right, that's why I'm asking who they contact.
And various things are involved.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Who do you contact and what do you do?
Bill will be the guy to like.
Bill, okay.
But yeah, that's. As I said, I was just in Denver. Has anybody ever been to Estes Park?
Yeah, it's very
Estes
cool.
Park, the way the stream comes through the village is just an amazing thing that they like designed it with the stores. The stores are the back of the store. You can walk right out. You can walk on that side of the store, or you can go on the front side, and you know it's we have benches along the creek. It's just a wonderful thing. It's very fast right now there because they have a lot of snow, so it's running pretty rapidly. No pun intended, but it was rapid. So going through it. So other things.
Yeah, I got another one.
Go ahead.
And I mentioned this to you, Chris, last time when we had one of these at Rex's. We have way too many property owners that blow their grass into the streets. It's horrible. We're spending zillions of dollars to try to clean up our lakes and suck them up. And yeah, it would make a big difference, but every little bit helps.
Agreed.
And it doesn't cost anything to mow our grass correctly and keep it out of the streets and the gutters. And I don't know what we can do, but we should try to do something.
We've done annual communications, and particularly after, I think, maybe that meeting, we did, Steve Krause kind of spearheaded
Yeah,
that.
he's got a little piece of paper he goes around and gives people, puts it in their mailbox, or puts it at their house door or something, or hangs at door hangers.
I would say, we as staff don't always catch the moments when that happens. If there's a property owner that there's a habitual situation going on, you're welcome to contact us at Village Hall. And we've got a set letter where we communicate the reasons why that's important.
It's a hazard to motorcyclers for sure. They're really, yeah, you can wipe out a bike on fresh grass.
Yeah, conditions, yeah, safety is true too. So we're happy to send out the letter if we can identify the property for us. You can actually do it, by the way, as a reminder from the My Waunakee app. If you see the grass, you don't even have to report the owner, you can report the GPS coordinates. Take a picture and send it to us, and
we'll get out a letter. What's that app called they can put on their phone pad?
My Waunakee. All one word.
Yes, the app actually allows you to
Does somebody pay attention to the street lights right now on the new 4-lane going towards Middleton? We have at least one street light out there that's on 24 hours a day.
Okay. Waunakee Utilities does the inspections somewhat routinely, but we also rely on the phone calls.
Okay.
So, where's the location? I can check into it.
It's on the new what I call the new 4-lane that goes out of town towards Waunakee or towards Middleton. It'd be out there where one of the that store is. Yes.
Right on
Q.
Q, yes. And I saw one the other day someplace else in town. I don't remember where.
It's on all day.
Yes.
Okay.
It's on 24 hours.
I'll check on it for you.
Anybody thinks we should stop doing the flowers on Main Street?
No, no.
They're beautiful.
Okay.
I will say that's probably one of the more commented things of compliments that the village gets is those flowers.
We're sorry they were late. We're sorry they were late this year. They were growing and they got a virus at the greenhouse. So the whole batch had to be, the whole thing had to be regrown.
Well, they're pretty.
So that's why they were a little late this year.
I want to make a comment that somebody sent me, but I'm not going to right now about the flowers, and it just was so ridiculous. But go ahead.
Okay, this isn't directly from me because I don't live over there, but this is pertaining to the new library, and the people who live along on the other side of that alley love the library. But one gentleman showed me a picture that he's concerned about because he said that library where the mural is so bright. He said, and he said it just, and he showed me a picture, and it is very bright. And I suggested that they contact somebody through the village and ask if it can be dimmed or something, because he said it's just really very, very bright. I haven't gone down there at night to check it out. The library, the light where the
Mystery Hall.
yeah.
Mystery Hall. But we've heard that.
On the inside
We were
of the
talking
building?
about it at the construction meeting last week.
Okay, so you're aware of
Yeah, they're
it.
aware of it. And the lights are going to go off at 10 o'clock at night.
Okay, are they now? Because he didn't think they were now.
Yeah,
the
I
gentleman.
can't tell you.
Okay.
At the library?
Yeah,
Oh,
and so
inside.
yeah,
Inside, yes.
inside.
For
Yeah,
security.
So
You know, this mural is on.
yeah.
Oh, that will always be on. Yeah.
That's what I was getting at.
I thought she was talking about the outside lights.
No, I'm talking about the inside lights. They said they're so bright and they're on all night, and they also said it's such a waste for them to be on all night.
The designer told us that the lights were so low. You know, the voltage was so low.
I saw the picture, and it is.
Well, the voltage is low because it's probably LED.
That's what I'm saying. They said it was cheaper to keep them on than to turn them off.
But this gentleman took them from his porch of his house, or inside his house, and I couldn't believe how bright
I'm
they
going to
were.
pass that on to the library committee.
I'll bring it up tomorrow morning.
Well, the one thing that we're planting shrubs that are going to grow
But how
along
long?
the alleyway. We hope for there being a decent buffer. But that doesn't fix it either.
No, it doesn't fix it for quite a while.
I will definitely bring it up tomorrow morning.
Okay, thank you.
The finance committee no longer has citizen members on it. Is there a reason for that?
So, our former finance director, made a recommendation that he felt that some of the members didn't feel valued being there because things were kind of already decided before the finance committee looked at anything. Jim was on the committee, so he'd be probably a good one to say that to. I don't have an issue if we wanted to reinstate that. Just didn't. That was the feel that we were getting from at the time. That those citizens. Am I wrong with what I'm saying, Joe?
Yeah, probably. It did seem like we were just kind of a listening session. We did vote on things, but they weren't very controversial. Pretty much, we were rubber stamping them. And things were running very well. It wasn't
More routine, like the audit, the budget. It's more routine, not anything beyond that really.
no.
That's part of my question, because I did read the audit, and there was a recommendation that there be a division of staff to basically as a check and balance. And it's not like there's anything wrong right now, but it was recommended and
And
the
they were saying the
recommendation
same
was.
thing when we had the committee. As that whole divide where we needed more, we don't have a big enough staff.
Can you train some staff otherwise? Because I worked in a place that dealt with a lot of money and there wasn't a lot of staff either, but you had to have checkpoints.
Just another.
I'll talk to Renee about it and see what she thinks at this point.
It's just something that, I mean, if the audit company says that you should probably look at this, I think it shouldn't just be blown off that we can't do it.
Another comment pertaining to that is things are really good right now, and we know that, but you just never know when there might be a change. Not necessarily for the best, and the more eyes you have on something, the better.
Agreed.
Well, I'm assuming that there's rules about that certain people have to take off a certain amount of time so someone else is doing their job, right? I mean, I was a bank auditor, okay? And that was one of the absolute rules we had, was if you worked in a certain department and you were involved with the money, you had to take vacation for so many days at a time, so someone else had to do your job for a certain number of days, because that would show if there were problems. And that worked very, very well.
Well, we have a current finance director who, for 20 years of her professional life, did municipal audits.
Okay, so she understands right.
The expert is in-house.
Right.
And to the extent that we've been able to subdivide duties and spread the work, we've done it within the confines of our own fiscal and staffing limitations.
Sure.
And the auditors agree with that. Yeah, they noted they technically have to do it, and they have for many years.
Right.
And it's a limitation of the resources and staff.
Makes sense. I mean, as an auditor, we would always suggest things. And people would say, you know what, our bank in Coloma is like 8 people. What do you expect? It's not like when you went to go out at the bank in Racine and you got 80 people, okay? There's only so many people that can do so many different jobs. So you're right, it's kind of like standard audit language. But
so with that in mind, though, it is the only management comment issue in the letter. So we got good.
Yes.
Our finance director, as he said, wasn't a auditor. So we have auditors, our auditor, and our auditor, who's our finance person. So we're in pretty good hands, but I understand. Again, others. We have some new people that joined. Do you have any questions about anything?
Happy campers.
Happy campers. Living the dream. All right.
Make sure that one gets on the tape.
I was going to say, sign your name. Make sure you sign your name.
I live on East Berlin, and this issue does not affect me personally because I don't have a basement the way all the other neighbors do. We have a groundwater / sump pump thing that's been going on for a couple of years. The school invited us as the 10 or 12 property owners. Your name came up several times that you were invited and you didn't come. And I'm not casting aspersions, please don't misunderstand me. I am a school employee also. And the neighborhood is just so angry at the school. That's the problem. I guess my first question is, are there other places around the village that have issues similar to what we're experiencing that you're aware of?
Well, I don't know enough about the issue to be super high-level talk here, but I will say that I live on Alberta Lane, which is on Rick Park, and my basement is crock, sump runs all the time, and it just started 2 years ago. It was bone dry until 2 years ago, and now we got water. So I don't know if that's the same, but the meetings you're talking about that I wasn't invited to, that I was apparently invited to, we just had this discussion actually. So I meet with this. We've been trying to meet with the school board more and talk about different things that we're working on together. And this came up, and there was no reason for me to be there at that point because it was a meeting between the school district and the neighbors. And
okay, there's 2 issues. The one is the lot lines, where the fence is, and the other one is the groundwater. Well, the rest of them are calling it groundwater. To me, it's obviously groundwater. They're all calling it runoff water from the school.
Yeah.
To me, it's obviously it's groundwater.
It's groundwater. I believe it's groundwater. I mean, where, just things that I've been told. The new school that's there, the water that's up there is going directly, it's not even going out, it's coming straight down into the sewer system, correct? It's piping directly off the roof down. So it's not running off to the school like the parking lot was, or the playground was, where it was. That was just running off. This is going directly onto the building and then straight out. Doesn't go out anymore. So, well, again, I'm not an engineer. There's no way for me to talk knowledgeably about it, just what I've been told. It's a tough situation because where those homes are built is a low-lying area. It's just, and that's how many years ago now? It's 6 miles probably.
It's about
1993.
93? 93, so.
Wasn't that also filled in some to build those homes? I mean, that was a swamp out there.
It's
6 miles, where all that was swamp. Yeah, because way back when, and my understanding is it was filled in somewhat to build those homes. So it doesn't surprise me that there's water. I have water in my basement. I live in the Central District, and that's been going on for us since about 2008, on and off. More steadily the past 3-4 years, I think, Mom, where some pump is almost, it's still going off now this summer, all summer it's been going on.
School trying to come up with something. I know they hired some people.
They've hired another engineering company.
They're trying to figure it out, but I don't know if they're going to come to a resolution.
From my personal perspective, I think the village should try to be involved. You know, again, your name came up, and I'm not saying you were invited, but there was numerous people that said you were invited and
So several,
intentionally didn't come.
Several of the residents there I grew up with. And so I helped organize to get the school board talking with them again, because there were reviews that happened. And that's kind of why I passed it off to them. And I haven't actually been invited back to the meeting, so. I'll take your suggestion or advisement about being more active, though. Yes, with that.
Okay, I have a question.
Actually, let me get that first.
I just was wondering where the Golden Ponds DNR permitting process was.
I'm not.
The only thing I know is that I think Don Tierney is kind of set aside the plans for the moment to focus on some other areas of his development.
Of other developments or?
Other areas of development.
Okay. Okay, my question has to do with wetlands too. I now understand after attending village meetings that if a wetland area is used for some reason for development, that you have to have 3 times the space for retention area. My question is, or my understanding is that a man-made retention area cannot do what the same amount or what the wetland space does. Is there anything that can be done to curtail some of this eating up of our wetland areas?
I don't, that's a safe.
I mean, I think as long as I've been here, it seems like the developments we've done have, at least in neighborhoods like, well, down here, even up at the Golden Ponds proposal, the engineering studies indicated improved ability to manage both retention and detention in major rain events. I'm not the engineer either. You got the wrong crowd here.
I would say that even the library had some wetlands on it that they had to work around. To keep those wetlands, so there's some parking that lot was lost as a result of that. But then you also see the retention ponds that are also around the building in addition to that. So I think we would have to follow the DNR guidelines on what they're required for that. And they're the ones that probably give us that and have experts that are telling us that's what you need to do in order to replace it.
Because from everything that I read and I understand, it's not only what we're doing that's affecting us, it's everything upstream that's affecting us, but we're also affecting everybody downstream, and we're just causing a big mess, quite frankly, is what I see it as, because we're sitting here talking about having water in areas that we didn't used to have water, problems in basements that didn't used to have problems.
I'd have to talk to him again, but I've been talking with Tom Wilson and Dean. I think that the water abatement's been very good. We've had some enormous water experiences here in the last 2 years. Milton was flooded up. We didn't have any near the issues that we had in the past with our water. And so what we've been doing to create those water pools and various places for the water to go are working. Westport hasn't been experiencing that from us.
Okay.
Whatever comes out of Waunakee is going right to Westport.
Okay.
Toward the lake. So we are doing it right.
So I wasn't specifically talking about us. I was specifically talking about other information I've read pertaining to everything as a whole.
Yeah, I think that the new O'Malley property being kept as it is, that's going to be that's a great watershed for us and holding us. I mean, I think that was a great achievement for us. As does Westport, that was a joint thing for all of us.
Where's this Golden Ponds proposal?
Golden Pond?
Golden Pond, I'm not familiar.
Henry Farm?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm old enough to remember.
Yeah.
It's actually on the very north side of Waunakee, so Westbridge. Westbridge is, and Meadowbrook.
Yeah.
So Meadowbrook.
There's Golden Street.
So Meadowbrook is here, Westbridge is here. Cop Road runs in between.
Right.
It's on the other side of Cop Road. North side of Cop Road.
Okay. Because there's a Golden Road or Golden Avenue, right? It's a new area.
That's in Westbridge, I think. Yeah.
Is that Westbridge?
That's in Westbridge.
Okay, but
And
that's
this is
not part of it.
Great area. Correct area.
Okay. All right.
Just think of the north side of Cop Road.
Right.
Okay.
Westbridge and then go west.
Just like shaking a golf ball.
Yeah. Okay. So that's another proposed area. Okay.
Yes.
Some beautiful parks out that way. Yeah.
I think all of our parks are beautiful. I think we've done a fabulous job in the community, and we're fortunate that our community can support all of them. There's a lot of communities that their parks don't support.
My favorite park is actually the old village park, though, built by CCC workers.
Yeah.
So
it's our again, that's the creek coming through. It's
yeah.
the most scenic park.
But not only that, the old bridges and just, I mean, the entire park, it could never be replaced.
Agreed. Anything else for you? Everything's available. Yeah, I'm all right for you.
The south boundary of the where the fence is, not the lot lines.
That's correct.
And I don't have strong feelings one way or another. I think it's very unfortunate that what has transpired is what it is. I had a neighbor that sent in to get all of the required approval and permits and stuff to build a chain link fence on his lot. And I don't understand all of the legalese enough to even probably describe it correctly, but the village okayed his fence to go all the way to the school fence, if I'm even saying that correctly. So in some ways, some people are saying, well, see, that acknowledges that we truly do want that, the school doesn't, because the village gave approval to put a fence on his lot. Does that even make sense what I'm saying?
I know, so I had a little background on this. So the school fence that goes around 6 Mile School, Prairie Elementary?
No, it's only on the south side.
Right,
Yes.
so the fence that goes around Prairie is on the border with the exception of the Verleen side where, is it 10 feet?
It's about 10 or 12 feet right at Madison.
They didn't put it right on the lot line like they did everywhere else.
And
So
as you
did it
go
short.
west farther, it gets a little bit narrower.
And they were, I think at the time, thinking they were trying to be nice to the neighbors by not putting the fences close to the houses. But
Now it's widening
more
them.
problems.
now it's caused another issue because the residents want to claim that property, and some have built some things probably on school property. And
Adverse
we
possession.
may have moved things that we shouldn't have. I don't know that. I don't see all those. I don't see any of those things. So
Yes, I understand.
until it gets brought out.
If you don't challenge it in 10 years, then it becomes the property of the person who built on it.
Not when it's government.
Okay. All right.
Government rules are different.
Sure.
So this
Okay.
is government. So school is government.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I don't have an answer for you.
It's
It's
like
other
people
than that,
building the green
it's an
one.
unfortunate circumstance. But one side was trying to do something nice.
Not a good thing.
If they had just kept it right where we're supposed to be right at the bat, this would even be an issue.
And again, I guess I'm not looking for an answer, Chris. I'll comment about the water issue. Please try to stay up to speed, maybe is the right way of saying it. And I know you don't have enough on your plate already, so I'm just trying to give you some.
It's all good.
It can only be in everybody's best interest. The more communication and the more openness there is, I think, in trying to resolve some of these issues.
Let me only say that I do know that Chris has been concerned about the issue. And from the very first day you heard about it, a message from Chris saying, what's the deal, what can we do, how can we help, what can, you know.
Yes.
But the situation where the village finds itself now is one that's more about procedure in making its way through the channels before our nose is fully into it. It's almost, to some extent, it's out of respect to the school, allowing them to do their business with the neighbors. And if they do their business and they're done with their business and then it becomes our business, well, we're going to be there front and center. And I'll tell you that Chris has not ignored the issue. And to say that he's been concerned is fair, from my perspective. Yep. But you don't see it. You haven't seen it. I understand.
Now, the neighbors I went to a first grade went up with, so it's
And there are some
I'm aware of, and I do know the situation of what it is. I wouldn't want that.
There are some that's just blind rage, and it's almost embarrassing to be part of something that we're trying to resolve. Blind rage that's going on with some people is just so unacceptable. I mean, as a society, we need to do better. It's just,
Thank you for sharing that. Anything else?
I appreciate that you do this because in meetings we get 1 minute. It's like sometimes
Exactly.
how it comes across isn't how we intend it to come across.
I try to be as available. Anybody who wants to get a hold of me, you can contact me anytime.
He does call back.
I call back. I might have to be right away, but I try to get back within 24 hours if that's okay. I'm out of town, it's a little more difficult. Email, same thing. Not something that's not done right, not something that's not working the way it's supposed to. And make sure everybody comes down to see the new library. First, looking forward to the thing. August 20th is when we'll talk about the library. So if you can't make it on the 1st, make sure you get there on the 20th.
Great.
To hear and give your input. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Hi, Joanne. How are you?
Make sure you got your phone there. Do you want me to hold it for you?
Yeah.
So you excited about the
My lunch under.